WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A family of 5 is grateful they have each other after a fire tore through their Leslie County home Saturday morning. But in that fire, they lost almost everything they owned. WYMT's Connor James shows us how the family is trying to cope with a massive loss before the holidays.
Well, I got one more step to go.
The smell of soot and melted metal lingers.
So I'm hoping that we will find that little piece. It's like a needle in a haystack, but I gotta try something.
With each shovelful, Amanda Middleton kicks up the ash of what she once called home. She looks for her car key. She can't afford a new one, so dig and sift is all she can do. Her husband, a former Black Jewel miner, has been out of work since July. His recent back pay paid for their children's Christmas presents.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for his Black Jewel back pay, I think even with the back pay, we still didn't spend, all that on Christmas gifts.
But now that's all gone.
So many memories this was our home. And this is the place where you're supposed to be safe and feel safe, and to lose it in the way that we lost it.
This skeleton of a home she now stands in went up in flames so fast. As the family... Steve, obviously a really emotional story there. If people want to help any way they can go to the Stinnett Volunteer Fire Department. That's where they're collecting clothes and other donations for the family.
All right, Connor James, terrible story, but always a lot of folks coming together to help families in need. Thank you very much. Well, a woman and child are in the hospital tonight after being hit by a car in Whitley County. We are told the woman and her grandchild were walking out of a Williamsburg store when she fell in the crosswalk. A car hit both of them. We are told the injuries, while serious, are not considered life-threatening. The driver is not facing charges as of now. Dispatch says it appears to have been an accident. The two were flown to a hospital. All eyes are now on the Senate after a majority of the House voted last night to impeach President Trump. In a speech on the Senate floor this morning, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell criticized House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for not immediately sending the impeachment charges to the Senate. Pelosi has not said when that will happen. She says she's waiting to see what the Senate trial process will look like. Senator McConnell and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are expected to meet to negotiate how the trial would proceed. Republicans and Democrats are at odds on how long the trial should last and if there will be witnesses and testimony.
The case is not compelling, not overwhelming, and as a result, not bipartisan. The failure was made clear to everyone earlier this week when Senator Schumer began searching for ways the Senate could step out of our proper role and try to fix the House Democrats' failures for them.
The Senate trial had been expected to start in early January, but the holdup in the House could delay the timeline. A bill to increase the minimum age to buy tobacco is heading to the president's desk. The Senate approved the Tobacco-Free Youth Act today. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Senator Tim Kaine introduced the bipartisan bill. If signed by the president, the minimum age to buy all tobacco products, including e-cigarettes and vaping devices, would increase from 18 to 21 years old. Senator McConnell says he expects the bill to be signed into law by the end of the week. Another Kentucky House seat will be up for grabs next year. Today, State Representative Chris Harris announced he will not seek re-election in 2020. Harris represents the 93rd District, which covers parts of Pike and Martin counties. He first won that seat in 2014.
And we saw that sunshine return today. Temperatures remain on the chilly side, but at least it was a gorgeous day. We'll go ahead and take you to a few of those cameras where you could see sunshine throughout the day along Interstate 64 into Moorhead. Now looking like a quiet and clear night as we head into your Thursday night. Looking outside the front porch here at WYMT, clear skies as well. Already at 35 degrees. So if you're headed out tonight, make sure to bundle up. You're going to need to bundle up tomorrow morning as well. A lot of us into about those mid to upper 30s in temperatures while they're going to continue to drop as as we head into tonight. Mid to upper 20s as you're waking up on your Friday. It's going to be a little bit frosty once again. We got clear skies, calm winds, and cold temperatures. You guys know what that means. Definitely going to see that frost once again. So make sure to give yourself a few extra minutes in the morning to scrape off those cars and warm those cars up. But as we head throughout the day on Friday, we'll warm up and we'll even see a nice warming trend as we head into the weekend. I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Paige. During the summer, the Hazard community was shaken following what police say was a murder at the Bobby Davis Park, and then the homeless population was put under a microscope. A series of meetings was held after that brought about community cooperation to address and help the homeless. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
In July, Hazard and Perry County's homeless population suffered a major blow.
Anybody that needs help can get it. They just have to know where to go.
Faced with getting resources to people who desperately needed them and a community confused on how to do it, a meeting was called.
That meeting brought together a bunch of people that had a heart for this community.
Out of that late summer gathering full of people like Little Flower Clinic CEO Ellen Napier came a much needed guide.
It's about pulling resources so that none of us are overwhelmed with the needs, but that we're all bearing the burden, you know, of the people that have the need.
A guide leading people who are left to fight for everyday needs, an avenue to get food, clothing, and health care that for years leading up to this summer, they might have went without.
I think so. I know as far as Little Flower is concerned, we have increased in patients. I don't know if it's 100% about the resource guide, but I know that we've had people say, we didn't realize that you all did everything that you do.
Because with pieces of paper and a drive to better those in the community we all live in, a 4-letter word could be delivered.
We're here to offer hope.
In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
The resource guide can be found at City Hall, schools across Perry County, and the Little Flower Clinic. We want to go to some breaking news that we just learned of a short time ago. More than 400 employees of a Whitley County company are expected to lose their jobs around February 28th of next year. Those people work for PAE Visa Support Services in Williamsburg. Now that spans the entire workforce at the site. The company filed a warn notice today. The search is on for an inmate that escaped in Powell County. 27-year-old John Bixby went on the run yesterday afternoon. Here's his picture. Kentucky State Police say he escaped while on work release at a transfer station in Clay City. Bixby was last seen wearing an orange jumpsuit. Troopers believe he is driving a stolen red car. If you see Bixby, you should call 911 immediately. Police need your help finding the man who robbed a London gas station. Deputies were called out early this morning and they have security camera footage, but so far they have not found the suspect. Investigators say he stuck a gun in the cashier's back saying, quote, "Give me all your money or I will kill you." She handed it over and he left on foot. The gas station did have surveillance video, but the man was wearing a hoodie, gloves, and a hat as he was trying to hide his identity. Deputy Gilbert Achardo said it seemed like he had been in the store before.
It was pretty terrifying to them, especially the female clerk that was inside the store, to have a gun stuck in her back, and you know, a robber, you can never predict what they're going to do and what might happen. So it was pretty scary for her.
Achardo told us they do have several leads they are pursuing, and he's confident they will find the suspect. Emily Bennett will have more on the investigation tonight at 11. Kentucky's Breaks Interstate Park will soon be home to the longest pedestrian swinging bridge in North America. The Virginia Coalfield Economic Development Authority will provide a more than $400,000 grant to help pay for it. The walking bridge will be 725 feet connecting Virginia to Kentucky. The bridge will cross the Russell Fork River. Donations from across the country are pouring in to help solve a Floyd County crime. Earlier this week, more than a dozen horses were found shot to death at a strip mine in Floyd County. As Garrett Weimer explains, the reward now sits at $15,000.
Willow is getting fatter, healthier.
Hey girl, how are you?
Finally living a safe and stable life on the Shelby County farm now bearing her name, Willow Hope.
You're a sweet girl, aren't you?
Sadly, the same can't be said of more than a dozen horses from the same herd.
We have seen very just overt cruelty to animals so many times. It gets exhausting. This is probably one of the most horrific things that I have seen in my career.
Authorities believe someone hunted those horses down on a Floyd County strip mine and shot them with a low-caliber rifle, even foals and pregnant mares.
After I was sad and sickened, I just got angry.
Donors, organizations, and others have now raised $15,000 and counting to help find the person or people responsible for killing those horses. Leaders with the Kentucky Humane Society can't imagine why someone would do that to such beautiful animals.
They're kind, they're majestic.
Sometimes they just need a little extra love, like Willow. She's come a long way since they took her in October, emaciated.
You're getting fat, aren't you, huh? Good girl.
That's why it's so important to them that whoever shot those horses is brought to justice.
They were just up there on their own, and somebody had to go up there with the intent to harm them, and it was just pure malice.
They want to make sure other horses like Willow continue to have hope for survival. In Shelby County, Garrett Weimer, WYMT Mountain News.
Humane Society leaders urge others outraged by what happened to also donate to the reward fund to further encourage someone to speak up about what happened.
And temperatures look to continue to warm up as we head into the next few days. We'll remain on that dry stretch as well. But what about that Christmas Eve and Christmas forecast? I'll have those details coming up in just a little bit.
But first, some Eastern Kentuckians spent the day putting together beds for children. We'll tell you why. Then after sports, some Eastern Kentucky students take to the streets and give us a lesson on giving.
If you have a chance of giving something to someone, give it to them. Make them happy, make them feel blessed.
When you see news